when I was 21.
What's going on, guys? Kooks46 here, bringing you a brand new video. And today we're starting a new series. Well, it's not really new. It's technically like season 2 of a series that already happened. If you guys are longtime viewers of the channel, and I'm talking like pre-MLB 17, you would know that I had a series in the off-season called MLB The Show 17 Dream Cards. And in this series, we went over a few cards every single week that we really wanted to see in MLB The Show 17. I did one of my own cards that I wanted to see, and then I chose 2 from the previous video's comments, and we just pretty much talked about some hypothetical cards that we really wanted to see. A couple of the cards that we talked about actually made it into the game too, like the flashback Giancarlo Stanton, you know, the NL East collection reward. That was a dream card. Also, the 99 Eric Gagne, that was a dream card as well. There was a couple others in there, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But yeah, we definitely had a bunch of dream cards make their way into the game, which is really cool. So we're going to do that again this year, guys. We're going to do MLB The Show 18 dream cards, and this is episode 1. Now, the way it's going to work, we're going to talk about 4 cards each video, and this series will be once a week. I'm going to talk about 2 cards of my own choice, and then I'm going to choose 2 cards from the comments of the previous video, and we will make them a dream card for the next video. I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit more balanced this year because I felt like last year I focused too much on offense, but I want to also highlight some pitchers as well. So this year I'm gonna do 2 flashbacks and 2 legends, 2 hitters, and 2 pitchers. So that means 1 flashback pitcher, 1 legend pitcher, 1 flashback hitter, 1 legend hitter. So guys, if you would like a chance to be featured in the next episode of MLB The Show 18 Dream Cards, drop a comment down below letting me know what card you want to see and hopefully what year. That would kind of be helpful so I could just look it up. But if you're excited for MLB The Show 18 Dream Cards to start, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Since I don't have any comments to go off of for this video, I am just going to give you 4 cards of my choice. So here we go, guys. Starting off with the first MLB The Show 18 Dream Card. This is the card that I get asked about all the time. They say, Cougs, if you could have 1 card in MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty, who would it be? My answer is always Vladimir Guerrero. Now, I know I did this guy in Dream Cards last year, but I wanted to kick this off. Vladimir Guerrero is my favorite player of all time. Really hope he gets into the Hall of Fame. But I hope MLB The Show can add him into the game next year. I don't know how the system works of how they add people into the game. There's something to do with, like, players' rights and Hall of Fame rights and stuff. I don't know how it works. I haven't figured it out. I've tried many different times, but it's all contractually based. So anyway, this is just hypothetical, but I would love to see Vladimir Guerrero in the game. If we were to choose a year for Vladimir Guerrero, I would definitely choose his 2004 MVP season. Let's talk about some of his numbers. In 2004, he hit 39 home runs and he drove in 126 RBIs. He also scored 124 runs. So that's pretty crazy to me right there. He almost scored as many runs himself as he did driving in runs at the plate. So that means he had good teammates hitting behind him. He was able to be fast on the bases. He was always like getting extra base hits and stuff. So he was a very, very key player for the Angels that season. He also hit 337, one of the highest averages in the league that year. His OPS, his on-base plus slugging, was 989. That's so good. He was hitting the hell out of the ball that year. And if you have ever seen Vladimir Guerrero play, you know that this man can hit literally anything. There's highlights of him hitting a ball that's bounced in the dirt, coming up, and then he hits it after it's bounced. It's crazy. This guy had the most fun bat I've ever watched. I still remember the first at-bat of his in the 2005 season. I was watching the game. I'm pretty sure it was against the Oakland A's. I might be wrong about that. But his first swing of the season was a ball about, I would say, 6 to 7 inches on the outside part of the plate, completely almost in the other batter's box, and he hit the ball to right field for a home run on his first at-bat of the season. I was blown away. It was awesome. I love Vladimir Guerrero. If I were to give him a rating, I would give him a 99. I think if you're going to go off the 2004 season, I definitely think Vladimir Guerrero gets a 99 overall card. He was a good fielder. He had a crazy arm. I think this is one of those all-around type of cards. I give him a 99 overall. So that is my legend hitter of the week. Now we're going to move on to the next dream card, which is going to be a flashback pitcher. So I looked around at guys who are currently playing, and I tried to see if any guys didn't have a flashback, and I actually found one that I would think is going to be a really good flashback. I would really like to see a 2012 Gio Gonzalez flashback. Now, when I talk about pitchers, I'm never going to mention their win-loss record. I don't believe in that stat. I think that's a completely obsolete stat. But anyway, in 2012, he had a 2.89 ERA in just under 200 innings pitched. He had 199.1 innings pitched. He struck out over 200 batters in those 200 innings. He had a strikeouts per 9 ratio of 9.3. This guy is always striking people out this season. His Ks per 9 would be crazy high. Another thing looking at this card that I thought was really interesting, he pitched almost 200 innings and he allowed less than 10 home runs. Only 9 home runs were allowed off Gio Gonzalez in 2012. That's crazy, man. That's 1 home run every 20 innings. You knew that if Gio was taking the hill for you in 2012 that you would probably end up being at least in a good position in the later innings of the game when they called in on the bullpen, because he was so good at keeping guys off base, he was striking out a ton of batters, and he was a workhorse, man. He was throwing a lot of innings. I really like Gio Gonzalez. He was an all-star that year, and he finished 3rd place in the Cy Young voting. If I were to give him a rating, it would probably fall between the 96 to 97 range. I don't know where exactly I'd put him. I have to do a little bit more digging into his stats and see how he compares to some other players, but I would say I'd probably give him a 97. I feel like he had a really strong year in 2012, and I can't find really a weak spot. He had a low ERA, he had a lot of innings, so he had a lot of stamina, didn't give up that many hits, so I feel like his Ks per 9 would be up to like almost 99 for me. So it's hard for me to really find a good weak point for him. So I would say probably like a 97 overall is what I would give 2012 Gio. Next up, guys, we're going to our flashback hitter of the week. Now, I went in a little bit of a different direction with this one. I know most of the cards that we're going to talk about are going to be considered a diamond, but I wanted to look for a little bit of a lower rated card, not necessarily lower, but like a gold. So for this one, I went with another 2012 card, and I went with Josh Reddick. Now, I feel like a Josh Reddick card would be really good because it would be kind of like a righty platoon type of guy. So like the Nomar Mazara or Rake Lamb, just absolutely kills right-handed pitching. So I think this would be a cool card. So let's take a look at some of his stats. In 2012, he hit 32 home runs and 29 doubles. He was slugging a lot in 2012. He also drove in 85 RBIs, so he was good at coming up in the clutch when runners were on base. And he slugged 463, so he had a really good time hitting the ball into gaps and over the fence. The 2 weak points with Josh Reddick in 2012 were his average and his strikeouts. He hit 242, which is a little low if you're trying to look at a really good card, but the biggest thing is that he had 151 strikeouts. He struck out a lot, so I feel like this is going to be one of those cards that has really high power and really low vision. He would have been perfect for that, what was it, the Moonshot event or the Advantage Pitchers event or whatever, which one, I don't remember which one it was, but I feel like this guy would have high power, low vision, and decent contact. He still had over 140 hits that season, so I would say maybe like 50 to 55 contact and then like 70 to 85 power. And don't forget, Josh Reddick has a cannon. He's great in the outfield. I would probably give this guy around maybe an 87 overall. I feel like he's got a lot of tools, but I just feel like the vision is going to be really low. And if you don't actually square up a ball with him, you'll probably get jammed or you'll probably hit into a lot of like ground balls and stuff. So I gave this guy an 87 overall gold card, but if you guys disagree with that, let me know in the comments. And finally, moving on to our last dream card, this is going to be the legend pitcher for the week. I went with another Cardinals pitcher similar to Adam Wainwright. I decided to go with 2005 Chris Carpenter. Now, I remember watching Chris Carpenter when I was kind of young and just getting into baseball, and dude, he blew me away every single time I watched him pitch. He was so good. Could you imagine a Diamond Dynasty team where you have your 1-2 of Chris Carpenter and Adam Wainwright? That would be filthy. But going over his 2005 season, he won the Cy Young, so he's automatically pretty much the best pitcher in the National League that year, and he was an all-star. 2.83 ERA and 241 innings pitched. Oh my God. He also struck out 213 batters. That is wild. He had a whip of 1.055. He gave up less than 200 hits in 240 innings, and he threw 7 complete games that season. He also did pretty well in the playoffs that season. He faced the Padres in the NLDS and then the Astros in the NLCS, and he pitched pretty well in both games. So overall, he was one of the best pitchers in the league. I would think he'd probably be one of the better pitchers in the game, so I would give him anywhere from a 98 to a 99. I think he'd be a top pitcher. I just think that he'd have a lot of stamina. I think he'd have high hits per 9 and high Ks per 9, and then his velocity and break, whatever his pitch selection is, would just depend on what he threw. But I think this guy would be great at keeping guys off base, causing batters to have lower vision. I think Chris Carpenter would be a great pick for a dream card. But there you go, guys. Those are the 4 MLB The Show 18 dream cards that we're going to start off this series with. Look for this series every single Wednesday. Wednesday. I don't know how many episodes we'll do. I don't want to say we'll do it all the way up until the MLB 18 launch because we might stop it a little bit before that. I don't know yet. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes. But if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more MLB The Show 18 Dream Cards, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes and you don't miss maybe if you get featured in the next one. Thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. Peace.